In this video, I'm going to share with you one powerful sentence that is going to help you keep your vibration super high. It's going to help you become a positive thinker. But more importantly, it's going to reduce all the stress, the worry, and the anxiety. And it's going to help you protect your peace every single day. Before we go into it, make sure you subscribe below. My name is Moran if you're new around here. I'm just making videos that really help you fall in love with life again. Realize that you are the master of this reality and you can create anything that you truly create when you master your mind. Because when you master your mind, you literally master your life and you can transform your entire reality. So subscribe below if you like those kind of positive videos that want to help you go to a higher vibration. And it's not all woo-woo and spiritual bypassing and fluff. It's also about doing the shadow work, realizing you're human, understanding these triggers and these emotions that are in the unconscious mind. So if you want to go really, really deep on your journey, subscribe below and I'll do my best to share everything that I've been learning for the last 23 years since I've been on this epic journey of personal transformation. So subscribe below, hit that bell notification because it helps me reach more people and it does all the algorithm stuff. So let's get into this video. Why do you want something that is going to help you truly feel super, super positive and redirect you when things are feeling not so positive, when you're overwhelmed, when you're triggered, when you're stressed? This is such a powerful reframe. And that's all it is. It's literally reframing the way that you talk to yourself or your attitude in reality. Now, why is that important? Because your attitude about reality, your life philosophy, what it means to you, and your role and your position in reality and how other people react and treat you, it means everything. Your philosophy of life, your reality of life, in other words, your outlook to life is what creates your life, nothing else. And I know this sounds a bit deep, but for me, it's just common sense. What you think, you become. Now, we all know that, but apply it, right? We all still live in this reality where we're getting triggered 24/7. We've got thousands of thoughts and stories inside the mind. We've got the past that we've been through. We've got all these traumas. And then to top it off, we've got all these pesky politicians, these influencers online, sending us this information 24/7, stimulating our brain, distracting us. In other words, they're poisoning and perverting the pureness of the mind. So we have to understand that our life philosophy, our attitude, our outlook to reality is the only thing that determines how we think, how we feel, and what we achieve and what we attract. To put it another way, your life is a reflection of your internal frequency, your vibration. And all that means is like your mood and your energy. So how you feel and how you think inside here is creating the external reality. Let me give you an example. Right? Many years ago, I really hated the inside. I had such negative thoughts about myself. I thought I was stupid. I hated myself. I felt like I was a mistake in reality. And guess what? I was a drug addict. And actually, it was worse than most people think. I ended up going to prison a couple of times. And then I felt suicidal and depressed. I was like, I couldn't get my shit together. And so I went on this journey for 23 years. And all I've really done really is come back to this essence that's inside me beyond the voices in my head and my personality, the ego. I've still got an ego, not saying that I'm enlightened, but I went beyond it and realized, wow, sometimes it feels like there's 2 or 3 of me living inside my head. And there is a peaceful one. There is a nice one. There is a loving one. There is a more conscious, more awake, more aware one. And I believe we've all got that inside us. The Buddha called it your essence, your Bodhi nature. And so for 23 years, instead of achieving all these things and chasing the external reality, I personally have gone the other way. Instead of going outside, I've gone inside. And I just found that peace inside me. And I found that love. And now, like behind the camera right now, my reality is a reflection of that. And again, still get triggered just like everybody else. But 99.9% of the time, I'm protecting my peace. I'm regulating my nervous system. I'm putting my hand on my heart. I'm connecting to my inner spirit, my essence, my Bodhi nature, as the Buddha said. And now, and I'm not saying this to show off or brag. I'm saying this because I want to inspire you to say that your peace is very personal and it's very powerful. Peace is a very powerful energy to get into, a vibration. Now my reality is literally living off grid in the jungle in Thailand, listening to nature. It's literally like I've got my own meditation app as soon as I open my eyes in the morning. And it is incredible. So this is the completely different reality to the person that hated himself, thought he was stupid, couldn't understand his emotions or his thoughts. And then he went on a journey and started to feel positive and calm and relaxed. And then reality, as if by magic, wraps itself around this vibration. Now, I'm just sharing my story to say to you, this is how it is for all of us. And obviously, it's zigzagging. You don't go up and down. But at the end of the day, no matter whether you believe me or not, your external reality, the environment that you live in, the relationship that you're having right now, the money in your bank account, even the weight and the shape of your body, the friendship circle that you're hanging around with, the job that you've got is all a reflection of your inner programming. Okay, so I just went on a bit of a tangent. I want to come back to the sentence, but the reason why that is important to share that with you is because what we're talking about, this one sentence I'm going to share with you, it changes your philosophy and it redirects your reality and it empowers you to think in a different way. And again, it's not spiritual bypassing or being super positive and like over the top optimistic, even though that's probably one of the best things you could do for your life, because you still got to face the emotions and the shadows and the darkness. Well, I have anyway. I don't know about other people, but it's just a new way to think so that you keep your vibration high and your frequency at a better level. So are you ready for this? I want you to write this sentence down. I want you to truly understand this sentence. You literally reframe, and I'll show you how to do it in a second, but you reframe and you say this sentence to yourself: thank you, universe, for redirecting me. Thank you, universe, for redirecting me. Thank you, universe, for redirecting me. Just think how powerful that is. Imagine a relationship doesn't work out. Most people are so attached to that relationship, they get angry, they get bitter, and they can't let that person go, and it destroys their life. Can you hear that cat? Thank you, universe, for redirecting the cat. And it destroys their life for years, right? They're stuck in this prison of the mind. But imagine they just said, thank you, universe, for redirecting me. Literally, physically redirecting me to a new relationship. Think of the stress and the heartache and the pain that you would save yourself. And again, this is not about avoiding the emotions. When you feel the anger, the sadness, the grieving, you feel it. You really roll your sleeves up and you feel it. But most people don't actually do that. They would rather stay stuck in the story. It didn't work out. This is not fair. He treated me or she treated me wrong. And then that creates more suffering for many, many years. But if they just said, thank you, universe, for redirecting me, because there's something better. There's always something better coming. And then I feel the emotions and the pain. You get out of suffering quicker. Could be a job. You get laid off at the job. Been working there for a few years and they say, sorry, we've got to let you go. Most people get stressed. They start panicking about their money. And when you get into that energy of like fear, it sends all the chemicals around inside the body, which kind of like pollute your thinking, and you will not go and get the opportunity or create a better opportunity. You'll be more stuck in the worry and the fear and the panic, which is kind of what society wants, right? But imagine you lost your job and you straight away said, thank you, universe, for redirecting me. Then you're going to have a clearer mind, a better philosophy to then go and find a better job. And I truly believe that my life for the last 23 years has worked out like that exactly. Every time something has triggered me, every time something hasn't worked out, every time something hasn't worked out how I expected it to work out, I could see that I was creating the suffering. So the first thing I would do is just let it go as quick as I can. And again, it's not bypassing. There's been plenty of emotions that you have to face, but you have to let it go as quick as you can. And this one sentence, thank you, universe, for redirecting me, it's going to save you years of stress, years of drama, years of just frustration. Because when you're not thanking the universe for redirecting you, because that's what it's doing, and this is my theory, I truly believe the universe always wants you to take you to a better, higher vibration, a deeper frequency. The point of life is to grow and evolve to the highest. So whenever things don't work out, a relationship, a job, your health, it's actually trying to redirect you. Think of somebody that's actually really sick and the doctor says, sorry, you've got like this really life-threatening illness and disease. Then they go off and get super, super healthy. And they become like a juice master. And the universe is kind of giving you an opportunity 24/7 to be your highest version of yourself, because that's what life is all about. So the next time you get this kind of situation that happens or something is not working out, thank the universe for redirecting you. If a relationship doesn't work out, feel the energy and the pain and the grieving, but thank the universe that is redirecting you because there's someone better coming along. If the job doesn't work out, thank you, universe. I didn't like the job anyway. But just get into that positive vibration as quick as you possibly can. I tell you why I'm sharing this with you, because this literally happened to me today. I've been meditating for 23 years. So technically, I think I'm a guru, right? I'm not. I'm winding myself up. I'm just being silly. I'm not a guru. Please never, ever put anybody on a pedestal. If you're a human being with a human body and a human brain and human emotions, you're fucked. No, you're not fucked, but you're always going to be triggered. That's part of the human messiness. It's beautiful. And that helps you grow. But anyway, long story short, I was walking on the beach today. I walked from my house to the beach and I cut through the little temple, and there's like a little school there. And I go through there. I've been doing it for a year. I cut through there. And then today, for some reason, the caretaker of the school decided to smack, like he was walking past. He had like a plastic bottle. My little doggy went to him. He's only like 7 months, 8-month-year-old puppy. I've got two of them, Tempeh and Tofu, Tempeh and Tofu. And the caretaker decided to smack the dog with the bottle. And first of all, my reaction was like, whoa. Now, if I'm honest, years ago, I was such a people pleaser. I probably wouldn't have said nothing, kind of walked off, but then felt like resentment because I didn't say something. So today I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, cha-cha. Cha-cha means slow down. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, calm down, bro. Chill out. And obviously there's a language barrier. He's Thai and I'm English and I struggle to speak English sometimes, get so tongue-tied. But then I'm trying to calm him down. And then if I'm just honest, he walked off and I said ting tong, and ting tong means crazy. And he went, oh, ting tong. And we walked off. And the first thing I had to do was put my hand on my heart and said, I'm safe. The dogs are safe. He didn't mean it. Everything is all good, and breathe. I regulated my nervous system, which I'll talk about in another video. And then I walked off, sat on the beach. I could see the monkey mind. It wanted to go into like a story that it was wrong. And I could see maybe I shouldn't have called him ting tong. And this was all happening in like seconds. You know how fast it can go. And then all of a sudden I was just like, okay, let me just walk a different way. There's a different route. I'm actually walking through the children's school anyway. And sometimes I do think, oh, I hope the puppies don't go for the kids because they're only puppies. And so I came home and I went a different way. I went up the hill and literally to my house. And I sat down and I was like, that little journey up the hill, we went across this beautiful bridge. There was a beautiful view. It's actually better than going through the school. And I was like, wow, what an amazing view. It was incredible. And so then I was like, well, thank you, universe, for redirecting me. Like that guy that smacked the doggy, which I don't agree with, he triggered me, but it was actually a gift. Now imagine I kept the drama in my mind, started getting venting and angry, and I could see the mind wanting to take over, playing out situations and how I would retaliate to him next time if he does it. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you, universe, for redirecting me. And in fact, what I found is as I went up the rocks, through the little bridge, the view was even better. Actually, the journey that you redirected me onto, mate, was 10 times better. And I know this is a really small example, but I've had to do this when I was in prison. Thank you, universe, for getting me off the council estate, putting me into prison because I probably would have ended up dead. Thank you, universe. It's not a good situation right now. I'm in prison, but thank you, universe. I've had to do it when I get to do it when I've had relationship breakups. Thank you, universe. It didn't work out, but now I realize what I want and what I deserve in a relationship. And then you meet someone that matches that vibration. So the message is, there's just a few stories there. The message is basically you say to yourself, thank you, universe, for redirecting me. Even when it hurts, even when it's frustrating, even when the monkey mind thinks it's not fair and wants to be a little victim, you say, thank you, universe, for redirecting me. And I truly believe the universe wants you to be at a higher vibration 24/7. I truly believe that. Now, that doesn't mean to say that we avoid feelings, sadness, grief, anger, or what I got triggered off today, a bit of anger and frustration. You face it, you put your hand on your heart, you regulate it, and then you let it go. Most people hold on to it for too long and then they wonder why they suffer. Most people fight universe. Instead of saying, thank you, universe, for redirecting me, they're like, fuck you, universe, why is it not working out for me? And then they wonder why it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out because you're a vibration, you're a frequency, you're basically an energetic being. And we all know that when you're in anger, stress, worry, fear, anxiety, life doesn't really work out as good as it could be. But when you're in happiness, joy, love, peace, forgiveness, like I had to forgive that guy this morning, like you straight away, you're back into your power. And then you can think more clearly and make better decisions. And again, this really isn't spiritual bypassing or avoiding situations and being super positive, because I still spoke up to the guy. Prison was still horrible. It's still hard. The relationships, they still hurt when they don't work out. And you still feel, you still have to feel the emotions. And again, unless you're I don't think there's any guru or enlightened master that doesn't feel these emotions, because it's part of being a beautiful human being on this journey. So anyway, there's my message for today. And the reason why this is so important is because your life philosophy, in other words, your outlook to life, is creating your reality. So if you fight reality, then reality is going to be like a battle. But if you thank reality, then reality is going to be like an incredible adventure. This has completely transformed my life, the way that I reframe all the thoughts inside my head. And I know it's not normal thinking for most people, but look at what most people are doing when they're thinking normal and thinking, following the crowd. You have to be different, especially in this next year, because it's getting like that little bubble of like social media and what people call society in reality, which is completely not reality. It's like a little scratch, like a little blip. It's getting worse. It's making people suffer more and more. It's dividing and separating and hateful. But millions of people are waking up. We're waking up now and going, whoa, like, let's just step back out of that society and just think, what do I want to do with my time here? And one of the best things, the way to do that is to take control of your life philosophy here. And if you want to learn more about it, just comment below. Brett, can you teach me some stuff or share some stuff. And I'd love to share more about the philosophies that I create that have just honestly helped me and thousands of my clients over the years to enjoy life, but to stay and protect your peace and go into a higher vibration, a higher frequency. And again, in my experience, when you're in that vibration, you just attract a lot better things. You have these situations, it's just incredible. You feel good, you wake up in peace and happiness, and you wake up productive. And again, if you want to join a community of like-minded people and you want me to coach you every day, guide you, meditate, live sessions every single day, click the button below. You get a 7-day free trial to my community. I'm very proud of this community. It's a very special thing that I'm doing. I generally want to help thousands of people just understand how beautiful life is and master the power between your ears. So click the buttons below, read the information, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for listening.